Now, before I close with you guys today, I want to show you what your role would be in this. Because it turns out you might think, well, what's the church doing about this? That's something the church needs to do. No, it's not. And I realized it working gangs. We have a program in our city called DARE. Okay, and we would have these students who would come in the 5th grade, and we would teach them for, I think, 10 weeks, 16 weeks, whatever it is, an entire semester to avoid drugs and alcohol. We don't do it anymore. We've stopped. Because we realized after graduating the first senior class years ago, and then the next senior class years after that we are not having any impact on drug and alcohol use. This program, there is no statistical difference in our city between those who have been through the program and those who have not. So we stopped doing it. We don't do it anymore. I realized something similar working in gangs. I was working in gangs for 2 years, and I used to go out to community events where parents would get in a large room and they would say to me, Jim, what are you guys doing? And by the way, I had young kids, so I was worried about my own kids. And the parents would say, what are you guys doing to keep our kids out of gangs? And I would tell them, nothing. That's not our job, is to keep your kids out of gangs. Our job is to keep your gangster kids from hurting the other kids. That's the job of law enforcement. I can't raise your kids. And it turns out that is the direct thing I want to leave you with today. There's a relationship between how long we train and how long we model and what kind of impact we can have. So if you asked me to come in and do a presentation as a speaker in your youth group, I can have a little bit of impact, but not a lot, but some. If you asked me to come in and do a series of talks, I could have more impact. If your pastor decides that they're just going to take on apologetics and Christian case-making 24/7, that's going to have an even bigger impact on your students. But I'll be honest with you, if you want the biggest impact on your students, parents, we have to take on this job. We have to become good case makers for our kids, because if we do this, we'll have exponential impact. Exponential impact. Does that make sense? I want to call you to start having that kind of impact on your kids, because we have to make a change.